Okay, so what we have now is parabolas, and you can all see that the most basic parabola you can get is y is equal to x squared. This is a positive parabola, and every parabola that's positive we say is concave up. Okay, every parabola that's positive is concave up, and every parabola that's negative is concave down. If you forget concave up or concave down, just remember concave up is like a U for up, and obviously concave down is the other one. So the first one is a positive parabola, y is equal to x squared. So what you're going to do here is very simple. You're going to draw a parabola that looks something like this. Okay. Now don't forget, we are actually sketching here. We're not plotting. If you're plotting the parabola, then you have to do a table of values and find exactly when x is 1, y, when x is 2, y, when x is 3, y, when x is 4, y, and so on and so on. But I'm just showing you here basically how to sketch. Sketch means it's got to be in the right position, it's got to have the right shape, etc., etc. Okay. What happens when you've got y is equal to x squared plus 2? X squared plus 2 is simply this parabola over here moved up 2 units. You can see in this equation, x squared and plus 2 afterwards means take that parabola. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. Okay. Oop. We don't want to copy the line. So no. Okay. Hang on. Let me just have a look at this. Okay. Alright, that's okay, I'll just redraw it. So y is equal to x squared would normally look like this. Okay. Y is equal to x squared would normally look like this. Okay. Plus 2 means we take the parabola and we move it up 2 units. That's exactly what that means. Okay. So very, very straightforward. The next one, y is equal to x squared minus 2, means we take the normal x squared parabola, okay, like this, and we move it down 2 units. Okay, we move it down 2 units. Okay, all right, and you're done. So that's what you do when you have x squared, a number, and then a number afterwards. So this means move it down, and the previous one means move it up 2 units. Okay. What happens when it's inside the bracket then squared? With these parabolas, you always move the parabola to the right. In this case, it's going to be to the right 1 unit. Now, many students ask me, if this is a minus, why do we move it to the right? Well, if you really want to know, I'll show you. If you were to let y equal to 0, you would get 0 is equal to x minus 1 all squared. And if you were to solve this equation, you would get 1 twice. Okay. By the way, if you ever try and find where a parabola cuts the x-axis and you get the same answer twice, that means it touches but doesn't cross. You'll see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. But the main thing that I want you to understand here is because this is a minus, when you let y equal to 0 and you solve 0 is equal to x minus 1 all squared, you end up with x is equal to positive 1. And so that's why the parabola moves to the right 1 unit. Okay? So if your parabola was x squared is like this, x minus 1 all squared moves it to the right 1 unit. Okay? And if this equation is a plus, then it moves the parabola to the left 1 unit. Okay, so let's have a look at this one here. If we draw a regular y is equal to x squared parabola just here, okay, like this, the fact that it says x plus 2 all squared means that we move it to the left 2 units. That'll be minus 2. By the way, I haven't been mentioning this, but if you want to find the y-intercept here, it's very easy. All you do is let x is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 plus 2 all squared. So y is equal to 4. So if you want to be technical and you want to draw this absolutely perfect, what you should be doing here is coming down at -2 and then cutting that at 4. But for the time being, I'm just showing you how the parabola moves, and that's why I'm not talking about this too much. But if you want to find the y-intercept, it's very easy. Okay, so what happens now when you have x minus 1 all squared and then plus 2? Well, you should know by now that if I have, this is the regular parabola of x squared, okay, all right, and this means move the parabola to the right 1 unit, which will be like this. And now plus 2 afterwards means take this and move it up 2 units. So now we're going to go up 2 units. Okay. We're going to go up 2 units with this parabola. So now this here technically, now the vertex is at 1, 2, because you were here. The x minus 1 all squared means you moved to the right 1 unit, and the plus 2 means you went up. Okay, so you basically went across and then up, and the vertex, don't forget, was here. So you move this vertex to the right one and you move that up 2, and that's how you get that there. Again, if you want to find the y-intercept, just let x is equal to 0, and you end up with y is equal to 0 minus 1 all squared plus 2, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So in fact, I got that one there pretty much perfect. Okay, cut the y-axis at 3. What happens when you have y is equal to 2 minus x squared? Well, if you like, you can rewrite this equation as minus x squared and then plus 2, right? You're allowed to take this minus x squared and move it to the front, right? So make it minus x squared plus 2. So now if you follow the rules that we've been discussing, minus x squared is an upside down parabola, which looks something like this. Okay, and the plus 2 now means you take that parabola and you move it up 2, and that's what it looks like. Okay, if you want to find these x-intercepts, again, I'm just spending a few minutes here showing you how the parabolas move around, but if you want to find the x-intercepts, no problem. You've got the equation y is equal to 2 minus x squared. You let y is equal to 0, x squared is equal to 2, and x is equal to plus or minus root 2. So that's root 2, and that's minus root 2. Okay, what happens now when you have this? Now, you already know from our discussions in the last 10 minutes or so that when it's inside the bracket, the parabola moves to the left or to the right. But what I showed you before was when the equation looked like this. Okay, we know that this is a positive parabola moved to the right 2 units. But what happens when it's in the format, what happens when it's like this? Well, let's have a look. First of all, if you were to expand this, if you were to take y is equal to 2 minus x all squared, and you were to expand it, so the first one squared minus 2 times the first one, the second plus second one squared. I'm not saying you would, I'm just showing you. If you were to expand it, you can actually see that you end up with a plus x squared. In other words, this is a positive parabola, not a negative one. Okay, it's a positive parabola. And if you were to let y equal to 0, and you solve the equation 0 is equal to 2 minus x all squared, you would end up with x is 2. So now we know it's a positive parabola, well, you get 2 twice, and it touches at 2. In other words, really that parabola there is this. That's the parabola. Okay, so just be careful when it looks like this. That's why I wrote this question up. Okay, guys, that's the first part of parabolas, showing you how the parabolas move up or down. I will do another video in a few minutes that talks about axis of symmetry, vertex, and different ways you can be asked to sketch the parabola. Thank you.